Odunze. Rome should be burning this week. Over 53.5. Steelers are a top 5 pass funnel by pass rate over expectation. They have allowed the second most schedule adjusted fantasy points per game to opposing wide receivers, with the bulk of that coming on the outside, second most. They also surrender the most receiving yards per game to outside receivers. Good news for Odunze. He lines up outside 58% of the time. They use the 6th highest rate of man coverage at 34.6%. Odunze sees a 32% boost to his yards per route run against man compared to zone. We wanted an Odunze prop with this same exact principle 3 weeks ago. I said it was a slam dunk, and it was. He'll see a lot of Darius Slay, who gives up nearly twice as many fantasy points per route run than Joey Porter does on the other side. He's very similar to T. Higgins, who you want against man, and Higgins last week got 3 for 63 in this matchup. Next up, Derrick Henry. Again, and I'm 0-2 on Henry props the last 2 times out, despite the fact that he got a lot of carries and they won the game. They were all close. Like, we just missed it by like 3 and 2 yards, unfortunately. But we won't miss this one. 87.5 is the number, even if it's up to like 89 by now. It's already been bet up, by the way, so it's probably going to stick around here. Ravens are favored by 13.5 points. Over the last 3 seasons, Derrick Henry has averaged 0.68 fantasy points per snap while leading. That's the second most, and it represents an 89% boost to his efficiency compared to when the team is trailing, or been tied. Even ties are bad. They have faced the Jets, the 6th most carries per game from running backs, and of course they took a hit when they traded away Quinnen Williams. So the Ravens should ride Henry into the sunset in this one. Next up, we talked about Jared Goff looking unbelievably good. Jahmyr Gibbs is looking good too. So is Amon-Ra. Everyone is. But I like the JMO prop here. It's the lowest total, 59.5. The Giants run man coverage at the NFL's highest rate. JMO gets a 74% boost to his yards per route run against man compared to zone. Amon-Ra and JMO have combined for 55% of the Lions' targets, 59% of their yards across 2 seasons in games without Sam Laporta, who's out. It doesn't hurt, by the way, that Jahmyr Gibbs' target share falls 15% against man, so that's good. Lions, I think, will come out throwing. The Giants have allowed the 4th most receiving yards per game on the deep ball. He averages a fat 2.85 yards per route run against man coverage, which, again, they run at the highest rate. He has hit 66 or more receiving yards in 4 of his last 5. And then Cordell Flott is still hurt. So I don't know if he's practiced today, and he was set to see a lot of him. Next up, Hunter Henry. I mean, we gave all this out before. It is an unbelievable matchup. And maybe Austin Hooper gets 30, 40 yards, but Henry should get 38.5. The Bengals are an underneath funnel, allowing the 4th most receiving yards, 10 yards within a line of scrimmage. They're a tight end funnel, giving up the 4th fewest schedule adjusted fantasy points per game to outside wide receivers, but by far the most to tight ends. And it's a good schematical matchup as well. Let's move on. Got to get some unders here. We're still in November, so I'll go Breece Hall under 65.5. The Jets are 13.5 point road underdogs in a game with the 6th lowest total on the board. So it's hard to feel good about Breece Hall. It's also a bad schematic matchup. 73% of Hall's rushing attempts have come on zone concept runs, and the Ravens have allowed the 3rd fewest yards per route run, or yards per carry, on those runs at 3.47. You compare that to man or gap concepts of 5.6. So they've been really good against the run lately. A lot of it is because of the zone runs, and a lot of teams run zone. I think it'll be a game where Derrick Henry gets 25 plus carries, he'll hold the ball, and that's it. And Breece Hall is probably out of luck, as is Mason Taylor. Under 34.5, the Ravens deploy the 2nd highest rate of man coverage, and he averages a very, very, very poor 0.18 yards per route run and a poor 0.15 target per route run against man, similar to Harold Fannin, who only got 2 for 26 in this matchup last week. How about Chase Brown over 28.5? The Bengals are 8.5-point road or underdogs over the last 2 weeks with Samaje Perine out. Chase Brown has averaged 10.5 targets per game, which is more than T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Chase is out week 12. Perine likely out. I haven't seen the update today, but he hasn't practiced yet. So things are setting up extremely well for Chase Brown. The Patriots allow the fewest rushing yards per game to running backs, but they're also allowing the highest target share to opposing running backs, along with the 9th most receiving yards per game. Whether it's Joe Flacco or Burrow, I think we're looking at 5+ catches with the number 1 wide receiver out for Chase Brown. Next up, Romeo Doubs over 48.5 over on FanDuel here. Vikings run 2 high looks at the highest rate. It's not good for Christian Watson. It is good for Romeo Doubs. They also blitz at the league's highest rate. Not good for Christian Watson. Very good for Romeo Doubs. Pretty good schematical matchup. And he's their best sustainer up against 2 high looks, which helps explain how he got 4 for 39 and 7 for 58 in his 2 matchups. So not looking great. Josh Jacobs is iffy. Don't know what's come out on that one since we've been on the air. Not looking great for Watson. No Tucker Kraft. Looking good for Romeo Doubs. Jaxson, Smith-Njigba. It's unbelievable how good this matchup is. 95.5. I have more stuff that I could get to. It's just too much. It's too much. But trust me, it is an incredible schematic matchup. The Titans use cover 4 and 6 35% of the time, second most in the NFL. JSN has a 52% target share against those shells. His 6.99 yards per route run is 66% more than the next closest player, which is truly absurd. So he'll crush. This looks like a game where he can get 100 yards at the half. We got to go with another under here in November. And Lamar Jaxson, under 37.5. The Jets they do run man coverage, which scares you a little bit, but he's only got 3 carries for 27 on 77 dropbacks against man. Last week, Drake May, who's been running, only had 4 for 2. So Lamar has only hit this total twice all year and only once since week 1. So their 2 easiest game of the year, by the way, which will be similar to this game against the Jets, against Miami and Cleveland. He ran for 2 times for 13 and 5 for 14. And then we also have Kenneth Walker. Man, I love this one. 61.5. It's so good. Seahawks have a top 5 implied total of 27. They're 13.5-point favorites against the hapless Titans. Walker sees a 58% boost to his fantasy points per snap while leading. The Titans have allowed the 4th most schedule-adjusted fantasy points per game to opposing running backs. They have given up the 8th highest explosive run rate. They have given up the 3rd most adjusted yards before contact at 2.52. Walker's at a massive 2.41 yards per attempt, which is yards before contact per attempt, which is 168% more than Zach Charbonnet. And he actually averages 9 yards a carry with a 17.5% explosive run rate on carries where he wasn't contacted at least 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So it is an incredible matchup here for Ken Walker, which leads us to the best bet. We are 8-3 on best bets. We have lost a couple. We're due to return, and we're going to go over on Devontae Smith, a.k.a. Skinny Batman. The Cowboys have been playing a lot more man coverage. No, it's 4.5 receptions is the bet. Cowboys playing a lot more man, which is not good at all for A.J. Brown. Meanwhile, Devontae Smith gets 2.39 yards per route run against zone, which represents a 40% boost. Cowboys have been vulnerable to the deep ball. This is a game where Jalen Hurts is going to be looking for Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert, and he's not really going to be looking for A.J. Brown.
Thanks for watching, but don't let the betting insights end here. If you want an extra edge this football season, you can get a month of VSiN Pro right now absolutely free. That means access to our betting insights, analysis, and tools like our betting splits at 0 cost to you. Click the link in the description to sign up.